looks like we've just heard from the god, the man himself, Stefano, that we are going into draft. So let's check out that and see what the first bans are gonna be. Looks like Casual Reformed has the first ban here.
Is it going to be Vladimir
GGG
first ban again?
does.
Is GGG with the first ban here.
Mhm.
This game for GGG, I'm really hoping they do change up the bans. Um, Having such static bans they worked the first game, but they've clearly got bigger issues the second game that they need to solve.
Yeah, we see the Shyvana ban coming out right away for GGG. Want nothing to do with that champion anymore, and rightfully so. And then the Vladimir ban coming out for Casual Reformed again, right? They were the ones who banned it the first 2 times?
Yeah.
Yes. And the Samira ban coming out for GGG, they still don't want to see that played. Again, maybe unfamiliarity, or perhaps casually reformed. Maybe Zero Urge has been spamming it, and they've seen that he's been spamming it. Who knows?
Might also be a Wheelie counter pick. We know, even though Wheelie's playing mid lane, Wheelie loves these kind of degenerate Scion Senna bot lanes. So wouldn't be surprised if we saw some Samir mid. I still do agree with the Samira ban, and this time it's actually going to be the Nautilus banned out, which is, not too unsurprising. We did see Sean was often in a good position in the game, but it didn't feel like that was necessarily a Nautilus problem so much it was a Sean problem.
Oh, and the Olaf coming through. Once again, these just very standard bans for both sides. Maybe just the Shyvana from last game is the one adaptation we see here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Priority on the Caitlyn.
Getting some flashbacks to game 1.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, you can't really blame him for going back to that safety pick. That may also be a comfort pick for him, instead of going on something like the Twitch that just kind of got squashed last game. And
speaking of squashing, there's the champ doing the squashing for the past couple games.
Yeah. Oh, and I like the Morgana takeaway as well. So far, like the Renekton first pick as well as the Morgana takeaway, this is a much better draft already from the side of Casual Reformed.
Are we going to see an aggressive jungler with the Renekton this time? Yes or no?
No.
No? The disappointment is immeasurable.
My day is ruined.
So they take the Caitlyn Morgana lane. Check. They grab the...
You still have Caitlyn Lux open.
That's true. But they do have the Renekton that's been stomping for the first 2 games. So maybe a little bit of comfort pick there. But the Mordekaiser picked up on the side of GGG as well as the Thresh, which also is a pretty good lane with the Caitlyn.
Not into the Morgana though.
Thresh.
That's a hard counter pick of yourself. That's like a 70-30 lane. That's such a hard skill matchup.
Maybe he's looking instead to go for the roam and to influence the rest of the map. Maybe that might be the Thresh pick here. Maybe looking to set up plays for his jungler with the Lantern. There's a lot of different avenues you can look for Thresh. It's not just about the Flay, walk up, or the hook in your own lane.
And we can see the Mordekaiser picked up for the side of GGG. Royal Signature Champion against Royal Signature Champion picked against him, so maybe a little bit of a veiled insult at Royal here. But LeBlanc gets banned away. LeBlanc gets banned away as well, and we see it's the Tristana picked up with the Morgana. That's going to be such a hard Tristana to deal with if she gets ahead.
Yep, and so far, not too much to read into off of these drafts so far. The big hitter should be coming on for the second half, the jungler for Casually Reformed, and the mid laner for GGG.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see who the junglers are this game, because so far I've been kind of unimpressed with the jungle picks for both games. Like all 4 times, I thought that they could have played better junglers.
But the Shyvana hurt.
Yeah, last time the Shyvana did work out in the late game, but even early game, and this time, of course, the Shyvana being banned. So, gonna be some new champs. Do you think they're gonna end up picking the jungler here, or they're gonna go for
most likely the jungler? You always want to counter pick your solo lanes. That's just a staple of the draft.
See, now we'll have to see on it. I'm hoping for the side of Casual Reformed they can continue to pick something with a little bit of early game, but also some utility, I would love to see a Jarvan here. Or Alistair is going to be picked up now. So it maybe they are looking this time. They are looking for the Morgana mid lane. That's
Oh.
very interesting because Alistair notoriously pretty bad against Thresh.
Mhm.
Thresh can
Alistair
slay.
Especially against the Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser can definitely negate him as well.
He's in
Yeah,
King Alistair.
that it could be Alistair jungle. That's fair. Um, as we see Volibear being hovered, Volibear being picked up. So Bahuoto wanting the run back, saying just because I went 1-5 last game doesn't mean I'm not going to go 5-1 this game. Maybe a little bit of ego hurt it in this top lane. Consistently choosing
But I
the
think
same
that's
two
jungle
champions.
Volibear.
It very well could be.
Might be a Mord mid. I don't know.
We've seen Mord mid a few times in this league.
No,
Oh
it's
no,
it's
yeah.
it's
All right,
jungle.
Volibear
TF
jungle.
is
All right.
has to go mid.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And I like the TF pick right at the end, right after the Silas ban. TF into Morg doesn't sound good though at all. But I guess they can abuse the lack of any like roam capability on the Morgana. Even still though, GGG is gonna have their work cut out for them dealing with this Black Shield.
And it's really hard to shove in Morgana with that the pool
Yeah.
that she has. Oh, Graves coming through. Actually, I like the Graves here. You know that you're not going to be able to get the dives top lane with the Renekton against the Mordekaiser. And you know, for the most part, that you're going to be skirmishing early probably with the TF looking to roam around 6 and the bot lane being pushed in for the side of GGG for the most part. So I'm liking the Graves here.
Yeah, that does leave the problem of they do have a lot of AD on their side. They do have the Morgana, but Morgana isn't really, this high damage character that you'd see out of other mid laners. But even still, pretty solid team comp looking at the side of Casual Reformed.
Well, Morgana may not have the most damage, but she has a good amount of damage that she can spread out onto everybody. So that does force everybody to itemize for AP. If it was just like an AP assassin that bursts one person, then everyone else could itemize for armor, and the one person, the squishies, should itemize for, a little bit of MR. But with Morgana, she can force everyone on the other team to itemize for MR, regardless of what her team comp looks like.
All right, guys. I want to get your predictions for this game 3. Kang, who do you think's gonna win?
I think GGG, in my eyes, have the better comp. Maybe a little bit more difficult to execute, but I do think in the end that if they can pull it off, they have the better comp overall. So, and I believe in the players on the side of GGG. I've seen them play before, especially in season 1 of the MEL. So I think they can pull it off, and I think that GGG can take the game home tonight.
Stefano, do you agree or disagree?
I think I disagree. I think that unless, or no, actually no. I'm sorry. I do agree with Kang. I do think GGG has a stronger side, and specifically, I think it's going to be on the back of TF. We saw it so much last game in the game where they lost. The GGG was struggling in the side lanes. They weren't. They were obviously their top laner got so far behind, and then as the game continued forward, they kept making bad rotations. So I think having that ultimate from the TF is going to really help their side lanes.
And Intact, do you agree? Disagree?
I would agree with Kang here. I think GGG are slated to take this one. So far, these games have been decided on, who sets up better around the objectives, who can, get to the Drake on priority and force the picks out. And I think the Caitlyn lane and the bot side is very well set up for GGG to take this.
All right, there you have it. We have a sweep from the analysts, all three saying that GGG is going to take this game and therefore this series and solidify themselves in the top 3 in our league. Intact is on Worlds time right now, so he's tapping out. He's gonna go to sleep because he is normally up in 4 hours from now.
I'm about to die.
So thank you so much, Intact. We got lots of friends here to take over for you, but send some love in the chat for Intact before we go into the game here. we're going to take a competitive integrity break. We'll be back in a few minutes to see if GGG, in fact, can win against Casually Reformed. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Saturday Night League of Legends with the Manitoba Esports League Game 3 of Casually Reformed versus GGG to see who can win this series and again solidify themselves in the top 3 of the league.
And we already have right off the bat, instead of the line of scrimmage, both teams going for an early game invade.
Here we go.
Binding lands onto Kid Corito, but it's going to be Sean going down first. Flash forward by No Idea, does end up getting the kill, but now he's low. Everyone's chasing after him. He's going to end up going down from the gold card as well. 2 for 1 right now as Flash Hook comes out from Carl DR, but quite easily sidestepped by Royal as the Dark Binding lands onto Carl himself. 2
Valiant.
for 1. Yeah.
Yeah, valiant attempt by Sean, though. He tried flashing forward to get the 4-man pulverize, but dies before he can get it off. I think he's going to want that flash cooldown back now, but he does have the Hex Flash to make up for it. So many summoner spells burnt. You see the early vision on the bot side. Still left over from that fight, so maybe some of the junglers could use that to their advantage, get a little bit of information. Probably not, though.
Nice binding by Wheelie. It should be noted that there was 3 summoner spells burnt on the side of Casual Reformed compared to the 5 summoner spells by GGG. So despite the 2 to 1 kill advantage, Royal is going to have quite a bit of time to make some plays, especially in the bot lane when there's no summoners on Carl DR.
Yeah, and you see here, Kid Kirito electing to start on the top side. So if he decides to do a full clear to the bottom side, he'll hit level 3 and maybe try to affect the lane bot side. You can see that Caitlyn and Thresh have a lot of pressure in lane, and if they can get ahead, they can easily take over the game if there's some jungle presence there. Whereas Royal going over the top side, less likely to counter gank.
You're absolutely right. As we do see Kid Corito is going to go for the full clear. Full clear. Carl DR should be level 2 by then, so there is the option, of course, of the Lantern in. They know there's no flash on Sean, and it looks like he's making his way to the bot side. Casual Reformed haven't been able to ward just yet, so they don't know he's there. As Carl DR walks up, gets the flay off, no Lantern in, gets headbutted away, pulverized Planet X, but they're just going right on to Sean with no summoners. It's going to be another quick, easy kill. But across the side of the map, it's going to be Lisa forced to flash out of the binding. No summoners on that TF against the Morgana. Going to mean it's going to be some easy ganks. But how did the bot lane of Casual Reform not see that coming? That was textbook stuff.
Yeah, and I think it really comes down to not very many people electing to start topside. You see Kid Kirito, excellent pathing. He knows that he needs to get his Caitlyn ahead so he can start paying more attention to the top side. He ends up getting the kill onto Sean there, and is able to put that bot lane a little more behind, evening the goal.
We can see Hex flashing over, no flash on him, way too deep though. Yeah, gonna get out before it gets bad. Royal been sitting in this bush for a while. Bahuoto does have flash available. Royal gets the red buff applied, is slowed down, low HP but not low enough. And this has been a lot of ganks by Royal in the early game where you normally see a much more farm heavy style on Graves as a jungler. And even Sean ganking mid. There's been a total of 4 ganks in the 4 minutes of this game.
Yeah, both teams really wanting to get ahead of the other, as we saw in the last 2 games. Whichever team came out on top in that top side ended up winning the game. So Royal, aware of that, tries to get No Idea ahead so that he can take over. But Sean with the WQ combo.
Too aggressive. Oh, but fortunately he headbutts the minion as Kid Corito's mid lane. Black Shield gets dropped on. Stun's not going to land, a little bit too early. And Wheelie's going to be able to walk out of that by himself without any more harm coming to him. We do see a kind of nice CS lead, which isn't too unexpected. Morgana, obviously, almost difficult to miss CS with. But even still, it's going to be very hard for this TF to push in and roam as the game progresses, with Morgana always being able to shove them in so easily.
Yeah, and as we see, Royal trying to go for gank number 2. He knows Bahu Udot blew the flash last time, and here's the engage.
Stun lands as Royal's coming up. As you said, no flash. Bahuoto is going to use the W to restore a little bit of HP, but it won't matter, and the kill's going to go over to Royal as Sean goes in on the bottom lane, Planet in the mid lane. Wheelie's on his way. Heal gets burned, but the Ignite is already on him. Zero Urge is going to get the kill. Wheelie still hasn't used his Q. Carl DR gets slowed by the rocket jump. Glacial Augment comes down. Blinding lands, and it's a double kill, a 3-0 Urge after his bot laner didn't have any summoners early game on top of a gank that went well. That's the opposite of what you want to see for the side of GGG.
Yeah, a disastrous start here for GGG, and honestly, with the level 1 invade going their way, I don't see how this should have happened. They had a gold lead going into this play, and now Casually Reformed are able to start the drag potentially. But we do see Soberano roaming down. He can gold card.
Yeah, he is 6 as well, so he can maybe get a good flank off. Top laner is fighting. Sean goes in, knocking Kid Kurio, but Kid Kurio is going to get the smite. He's going to get stunned up by the black chains. He's then going to go down? Yeah, he is going to go down. So he does take the Dragon hero play. He's down on CS, though. Then this Brave is going to look to be a huge problem. Ulti from TF goes to the back of Wheelie, gets gold carded. Wheelie flashes the emote. Now, the No Idea has left the game. This is an interesting strategy as Sean goes mid lane. Unfortunately, No Idea looks to have been DC'd inside the ult as Lisa gets hit. Lisa takes down Wheelie, and there it is. There's the pause, likely about the top lane death from No Idea. And that one's gotta hurt, especially with Lisa killing Wheelie in the mid lane.
Yeah.
Now I'm not sure what the protocol is for something like this. Do you guys know what is done in this situation?
Unfortunately, we aren't LCS, and I don't believe we don't have access to Chrono Break. So if my memory serves, the play just goes on as continued. We're 7 minutes in, so it is unfortunate that No Idea's internet decided to, decided to cut out like that. But unfortunately, we're gonna have to live with it. And Royal but it looks like in the mid lane, Royal might be able to go home on Lizra, but it looks like Carl DR is also there as well. So gonna be an interesting time after we unpause for sure.
Great. So hopefully that will get resolved quickly and we can get back to the game. But let's keep analyzing. Sorry, Kang, I think you had something that you wanted to say there. I cut you off.
Yeah, I can't remember what I was going to say, but I do know what I want to say now.
Great,
So
say it.
I think that this start is probably a gold mine for the side of Casually Reformed. And that's because Tristana is now pretty ahead, probably about, trying to do the math, probably about 2 kills up, I would say, on the Caitlyn. So it's just going to be real bad because if Alistar can get the combo off on Caitlyn, she's done. It's over.
Yeah.
Tristana can just burst her down with the buffs to the grenade. Is going to do a lot of damage, and they're going to have a lot of 2v2 kill pressure in the bottom lane. And that's not what you want. If you're GGG with Caitlyn, you want to get ahead, make sure that they can't kill you, and just starve them out of gold. You want to, and you saw right there, 20 CS up on the Caitlyn, but I can definitely see that as soon as we unpause, it's going to start to go the other way with Tristana having a lot of kill pressure and a lot of pushing power with the passive on her E.
Yeah, and the Tristana is a scaling champion, and for her to get this far ahead early game is pretty scary. Looking forward in the future of this game.
Yeah, and honestly, Morgana dying, not too bad. All she's there for is to continue hard shoving the wave so that TF can't roam. And Renekton, a little unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. He can transition to a more tanky build so that his Tristana can start to pop off. And obviously Royal, if he's able to stay ahead, can scale up to be a secondary source of damage for the team and can really run over the game because he can just get into your backline and delete someone.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will see that soon. See how that all plays out in the bot lane soon. We are going to go to a quick break. It sounds like No Idea disconnected internet went down and now the client is bugged out. So we don't know exactly
Shocked.
how long that will, yeah, right. Again, the client. We don't know how long that's going to be. So we are going to send it to a quick break, and we will be back hopefully very soon to keep this game going for you. Stick around.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Very sorry for the delay. We had no idea who got DC'd, and unfortunately, because it's the client, he wasn't able to reconnect. In the meantime, Darren is a boomer and it was much past his bedtime, so Darren had to go to bed. So now it's just me and Kang rocking it again in for what looks to
Here we
be
go.
an exciting game 3 in this series.
Yeah, for sure. Unfortunately, the pause had to come in, but I still think this game will be just as exciting. Maybe potentially a mental reset for GGG. They could pull this back.
Yeah, absolutely. We do see on their side that Lysra is doing very well. He's down on CS, but he does have 2 kills up onto Wheelie. So there definitely is, once again, this light at the end of the tunnel, but it's definitely going to be an uphill battle. Even if the gold lead doesn't seem that far apart, it's going to be on Casual Form that is quite in the lead here.
Yeah, and Soberano getting the blasting wand is definitely going to help him push back a little bit against the Morgana. Having been only on Catalyst for the last couple of minutes has really put a damper on his ability to roam. So getting the blasting wand will definitely help him push back with the red card and his Q.
Yeah, and as we see here, it looks just to be like a little bit of an even game, but we see Royal coming in for the gank. Red card does get used. Royal's going to come in, but not going to be much on here as the binding does miss, even if it didn't. Would have been a little bit too deep to chase. As No Idea goes in on the top lane, but doesn't end up going for it. So just more back to the farming style that we've seen or is actually rather new to this game, but overall that does suit Casual Reformed with the well scaling Graves, Morgana, Tristana.
Yeah, for sure. You do see Kid Kirito hanging out in his red side jungle. Probably looking to grab some vision or maybe look for a counter gank, potentially.
Yeah. It looks like Kid Kirito's looking to dive Wheelie in the mid lane. He is 6th, has the storm. We're going for the dive. They do have some point and click CC, but Royal is there, and it looks like you can see on the minimap they're actually hitting each other. Or no, Royal goes right by it. Now Kid Kirito in a very good spot. They know he's there. Slow goes down. Binding goes down onto Lysra though. Lysra then immediately goes down. Just the 2 junglers versus each other, and it looks like they're just going to trade mid laners for it. But overall, definitely suiting the Graves this game. Graves, when Graves snowballs, he's going to be so hard to deal with.
Yeah, for sure. And again, as I said, a death onto Morgana, not the end of the world for Casually Reformed. She's more of a supporty style kind of mid laner that's really just looking to Black Shield and get that stun off.
Yep, absolutely. Now we see Kid Kirito looking like he's wanting to go bottom lane. He doesn't have his ultimate, but what he does have is possibly a Thresh Lantern. Sean in the bush, a little bit too far up. He does have Hex Flash, so he's going to be able to get a good flank on them. Headbutts the Pulse. Oh my goodness, just Sorry, words are escaping me. It's so weird what's happening. Sean gets gold carded, and Sean is end up gonna go down for his aggressive play. It looked well, but Flash forced out of planets and both sums forced out of Zero Urge with a little bit of HP left. Definitely an overall win for the side of GGG.
Yeah, and I mean, Sean going for that play, he was 1 level down on Carl DR and 2 levels down on Z Planet. So as exciting as that was, I don't think it was the right play.
Oh,
He needed at least another level.
Wheelie gets hooked up and goes down. 0-3 now on Wheelie. Caught a little bit too far out with no wards, no vision, and he's gonna pay the price for it. He's still gonna have a lot of the utility, but what he's not gonna have is this Mountain Drake, which he just handed over to GGG on a silver platter.
Yeah, and I know I keep saying that it's not as bad, but death number 3 is definitely gonna start to hurt. I think Wheelie needs to maybe play a little safer next time around, and we see the engage onto No Idea.
Down onto No Idea. Conqueror gets proc. He's gonna try to slice and dice out. He's gonna go under his camera. Bahuoto is gonna land the final decimating smash. Not gonna quite get the kill, but as you were saying, yeah, Lizer once again very fed in the early game on the mid lane, but Sean's coming down now bot lane with the Moby boots. Caitlyn's not going to be able to get away from him if Sean decides to go in.
Yeah, and with a 4-kill lead, TF is now going to be able to outpush the Morgana, I think, and look to affect his side lanes, help out the Caitlyn, maybe get some of that early pressure back, and maybe get some turret plates still. They're about to fall off though, but
minute and a half, you're fine.
I'm fine.
We see in the bot lane though, even though there is a 3-kill lead for Zero Urge, it's actually Planet with the huge CS lead. Just because you are that Caitlyn, you have the extra range, still down on items obviously, but good job for Planet to still be able to force and get this CS. As we see Kid Corito coming now, Carl DR looking forward with the hook. He's gonna miss the hook, gonna flay Sean out of the headbutt though. Pulverize comes through as he flashes out. Carl DR way far up, has the lantern going back, but no one's gonna end up taking it, and it's just gonna be just gonna be a pretty uneventful gank on both sides. Casual formed, happy that it worked out that way. As I'm saying that though, the top laners both games have been all over the place. Definitely the DC and Death not working out for No Idea, but overall overall they've been very flip-floppy as Royal's there to make sure that Wheelie doesn't take any more damage than he needs to. We get set back to a more, hopefully a lull in this game.
Yeah, I mean, as unfortunate as DC was, he is still keeping up in CS. So he's not too far behind, only 1 kill behind onto the Mordekaiser. So I think overall he's still looking pretty good as long as he doesn't get caught out. And now we see Royal here for the gank.
Ult is available on Bahuoto. And they're both going to trade flashes, but now Royal's here, but so is Kid Corito with an idea of his own. Stoppable Force comes in, TP comes in by Lyra, and now Wheelie's left in a 1v3. The chains go onto Bahuoto, followed by the Dark Binding. Is going to take the kill with the pool and going to flash out, so 2 for 1, but a teleport used by Wheelie, and both flashes used by the top lane of Casual Reformed. Now the Casual Reformed has a better idea. Bot lane, Ignite and Heal goes down onto Planet X. Planet X is too far away for Zero Urge. Ace in the Hole comes out, has to be blocked by Zero Urge. Isn't going to end up going down, but even that trade going in the favor of GGG.
And man, I mean, I really hate to say it, but this game, just night and day from before and after the pause. I think GGG have their mojo back and are taking control of the game.
Yeah, sometimes you get that mental reset, but as we say this, we see Royal going down. He is going to be spotted out by this pink ward, but he's going to continue to force on it. But no, they're too fast, and they're just going to head out. It does seem like Zero Urge surely has a lot of money in the bank that he'll hopefully be able to use, but even still, things looking much farther up for the side of GGG.
Yeah, and I have to give Soberano a lot of credit still, because obviously he's a big factor in this game either way. Being able to soak up pressure early on, not fall too far behind, and as soon as he gets his blasting wand, he's able to shove back against the Morgana, makes plays bot lane with Kid Kirito to secure some kills, and really put a damper on Zero Urge's ability to affect the game.
No, you're absolutely right. Zero Urge with such an explosive start, with such a high kill lane, you'd expect to have more. But now we see Sean roaming, saying, you know what, I don't really want this bot lane. But we see now Bahuoto has no flash on him. He is going to get the headbutt pulverize. No idea, not quite in range just yet. A little bit too early from Sean. Isn't going to get the CC to be layered. As on the other side of the map, GGG is going to take down bot lane, and now they're going to look for Zero Urge. Royal is just on the side. Hook lands, is autoing the minion instead of taking the Lantern. Royal's now here. Oh, but with the Piltover Peacemaker is gonna finish the kill. And now this is not what you want to happen with Sean there. Zero Urge way too far up, gonna get 2v1'd as Sean's coming now, but too little too late as the third dragon is about to go down to the side of GGG. If there's a time with no AD carry on Casual Reform, they need to give this and give GGG sole point.
Yeah, and you see third Cloud Drake, or rather third Dragon, going over to GGG. Next Cloud is going to be the Soul.
Alt goes down onto No Idea though. Bahuoto not feeling confident enough to dive the tower. No Idea though, still in a little bit of a precarious position.
Soberano.
As the ulti comes in, the stun lands onto him, but Bahuoto was tanking it, and that's 0-4 on No Idea on the Renekton in the top lane. And another kill over to Lyra. This TF is gonna start one-shotting people with a point-and-click ability. This is very bad news for the side of GGG. Even as I say that, Sean, not understanding how Rift Herald works, is gonna try headbutting it to no effect, unfortunately. And that's going to be all three outers going down before 20 minutes for the side of Casual Reformed with a 4K gold lead.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say here. You do see Wheelie trying to soak up some farm top lane instead, sending No Idea to the mid lane. Try to get something back. I think if they want to get back into this game, they probably want to look at getting a pick onto Caitlyn with the Tristana. She does have Storm Razor, being able to get that percent slow is going to help a lot, especially on Caitlyn, who doesn't really have an escape other than the net. But it's definitely looking like it's going the way of GGG so far.
Yeah, you're definitely right. It's going to be quite hard for the side of Casual Reform to come back. They do have a pretty excellent team fight, you know, with Sean on the Alistair. He can look for some good headbutt pulverizes. If you layer that with Wheelie's Soul Shackles, it's you do have the ability for a lot of AoE damage, but at this point, it's going to be very hard to get these fights and get in good positions with Lyra so far ahead, and him being able to scout out people and reposition so quickly with his ult. Ace in the hole comes down onto Wheelie, feeling the counterplay, taking 30% of his HP. He's going to do what he can to stop the tower, but Caitlyn, obviously, such high range. Wheelie's going to black shield, but the hook's not going to land anyway. And my mistake now, it's all three towers before 20 minutes. As Sean is looking forward, flash forward by Wheelie. TF ults in, stuns Royal. Royal just gets CC locked and downed instantly. He has flash, but no time to use it, as another kill gets picked up by GGG.
Yeah, I mean, just so much global pressure for Soberano being able to just respond to whatever play that Casually Reformed are trying to make, and he's trying to get a pick off on Tristan, I think.
Yeah, we see him in the mid lane, but
can't really see what's going on. I think he's about to
fighting,
kill him.
Yeah. Oh, he misses the cards, but Zero Urge still gonna lose his heart. He's gonna force the flash out of Lyra, but Bahuoto with the TP behind him. It's another kill picked up for Lyra. He's got his rod stacked, he's got his Lich Bait, and he's got another kill now under his belt. This man is going to be a monster like he was it last game, but this time it looks like he's going to capitalize on it.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that was a desperation play from Zero Urge, trying to get something back for his team. It doesn't end up panning out, and now they're going to give up Dragon Control. They're going to be able to set up Vision. I think. Nope.
We
Guess
do
not.
see Dragon is up in just a minute, and this is sole point for the side of GGG, so it is going to be on Casual Reformed to try and steal this away. It is Air Dragon, and so it won't be quite as useful on a few of their members. Obviously, not going to get a lot of use out of Caitlyn. It's going to be okay on Thresh, pretty bad on TF because it procs in the first hit of his ultimate, but even still, it's not something you want to just be giving over willy-nilly. And it looks like Casual Form know this and are already going to look for a pick.
Here we go.
As we
Four-man
go
mid.
Oh, but Lyra just is just too far back on not giving out any kills for free. Very well played. As a binding goes on to Carl DR. Now Wheelie, Soul Shackle up, Lisa, Pulverize comes through. Headbutt is going to try to headbutt him back in the team. Lisa's going to go down early as the TP comes in. Comes in by no idea. He's going to dive onto Carl DR, take him down as Kid Curio continues to smack him. Bahuoto in the depth. Nice. Gets knocked out. Now it's Plants. He's just showing up in the fight. Sean gets taken though. Sean is going to go down and headbutt him back. Royals now that there though. Kid Corito comes in now with the ult, forces the flash out, but now it's No Idea coming in shortly after. They're going to go down onto Kid Corito. Kid Corito just barely not dying, unlike No Idea, who's going to fall now. Binding goes down, not quite going to go down. Royal coming in, dodges the grasp, but going to be taken out by Planet. And that was such a tragic fight. It was looking so good for Casual Reformed, but unfortunately, Caitlyn's range was too much to deal with, and Royal couldn't get close. Wheelie couldn't get close. Zero Urge couldn't get close. And he was able to, and Planet was able to free hit them all for free. 5-1 on the Caitlyn, and it's going to be Dragon Soul at 22 minutes. This is looking like it's going to be a long uphill battle for Casual Reformed.
Yeah, and Zero Urge, honestly, on the cusp of being able to clean up. He almost had the proc on to the grenade there, but man, just some crazy team fighting from Z Planet, able to get a lot of damage off in that team fight and stay safe. Pretty hectic battle, and GGG are able to come up on top. They're able to get the Cloud Drake, and they're able to get a lot of key ultimates up faster. You have the Destiny Gate on TF. He's definitely gonna love that one, being able to get the movement speed after ulting, as well as getting his ultimate back up faster. So able to make a lot more plays here.
Yeah, as you see, he might be a little bit caught out as Wheelie comes in and goes to Carl Yard, eats an ace in the hole to the face as Kid Corito comes in. No flash on Wheelie, gonna force the spell shield up, but still gonna get stunned. Wheelie out of position. That just seems to be the story of this game, not necessarily Wheelie. Oh, as I say that, Gold Card lands onto Zero Urge, gets hit once with the Ignite ticking down, gonna quite do it just in time with the last tick of Ignite. Lysra coming up huge, but CR not respecting the TF ultimate at all, continually making plays when it's available, and Liza is punishing them hard.
Yeah, Casually Reformed getting picked off, and TF doesn't even have his rapid fire cannon yet. I just
walking right into it. Yeah, they have the Morgana Black Shield. It really just seems like they're scattered, like their mentality was shaken a little bit by the pause, and even now GGG is going to start up the Baron. Looks like CR does have a suspicious feeling, but they're going to be a little bit late. We're going to need a Miracle Steal by Royal. He does have the Emerald Glaive, going to shut off the vision. Hooks lands onto Sean. Stun lands onto Royal. As they continue the fight. Bahuoto TP's in. Royal goes in the pit. He's going to try for the 50-50 smite. But unfortunately going to just miss it by literally 8 HP as the ulti goes down onto Zero Urge. Bahuoto is so strong on this Mordekaiser. He's in the death realm, and Zero Urge is going to go down. Nice rocket jump away. It's actually going to let him out, so nice outplay by Zero Urge. But even still, the miss smite just so close from Royal as he saw his team's hopes of winning dwindling down in the end there, secured by Carl DR. That's going to be a Baron over to GGG. That's going to be Dragon Soul over to GGG. That's going to be a 10k gold lead over to GGG, and all of this at 25 minutes.
Yeah, honestly, not much more that Casually Reformed can do. They can't really face check into a Thresh or a TF, and Mordekaiser in a sticky situation, just gonna ult one of you and 1v1 and take one with them. So
Yeah, chances are he won't even die. He's now done 2 items. He's got the Zonias, very effective against a lot of the like true threats on the side. Like the only damage threats are really the Tristana and the Graves. So Zonia's putting in overtime. He's going to be very tanky, hard to deal with. And as I say this, Spooky Ghost come out. It is going to go just shy of slowing Kid Corito, but Sean's might look like he's looking for blood, but no, goes down. Royal is on the bot side, trying to stop Bahuoto. But we see now the ultimate coming down from Lyra is going to tag up Royal, going to take him down a little bit as Bahuoto, and then finish the rest of the tower. Large macro misplay by the side of Casual Reformed. Once again, they lost bot inhib, they lost top tower. It looks like they're going to lose top inhib tower right away. They're going to either have to force a fight or pull something amazing. They're losing everything so slowly but surely as No ID ults gets Caitlyn trapped, gets 2-shot as Bahuoto is hitting the Nexus turrets. It's just a 2v5. Is Sean's gonna go and he's gonna land the headbutt pulverize onto Bahuoto, who's in response, ult the Alistar right back. Alistar with the unstoppable force with the unstoppable going on, he's gonna take very little damage, but not gonna be enough damage reduction as Bahuoto still able to kill him, keeping alive with the stasis, getting healed up, flashing out, does end up going down to the collateral damage, but now it's 4v3 with Baron up. Poke lands, oh my god, Zero Urges gets bursted down, Wheelie now the only person alive. Soul Shackle's not going to do enough. Royal coming in, trying his best to stop it, but it's a 1v3. Flash shield by Planet X to keep his teammate alive as the Nexus goes down, and GG wins a decisive Game 3 for the first best-of-3 series we've seen so far. That was a decisive win